Well, welcome back, guys. Signal What Ifs here, and before this video starts, I would like to say thank you for all the support on the last, technically 3 parts, even though this is actually part 3. And I would also like to say thank you for 400 subscribers. I did not expect to grow this much in about a week. And, uh, to answer some questions, I'm just gonna say, yeah. This is part 3 of What If Deku Was Cheated On, and let's get into the video.
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options. I can pass that bitch like Stockton. Just joshing. I'ma spend this holiday locked in. My body got rid of them toxins. Sports in the top 10. I can put the ball in the end zone, put a bad bitch in the friend zone.
Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video here, and this is part 3 of What If Deku Was Cheated On, and yeah, I probably already said this already, but yeah, again, thank you for 400 subscribers, and I will be doing a 400 and 500 subscriber special when we hit that. And I have those 2 videos ready whenever this one is able to export. So yeah, and render. So until further notice, let's get back into the video. Alright. Previously on part 2, we left off on Deku being added into the big four, as they are known as now, and Deku becoming the strongest in the school. And yeah, let's get into that. And then we also have to get into the forest training camp arc. So let's get into that as well. And now we start off to after Deku was announced to be part of the Big Four. Class 1A wasn't surprised. Class 1B not as surprised, but most of them were surprised, especially Monoma, because Monoma's a little prick, but still. We cut back to Kendo, who's just very happy that her boyfriend is getting the recognition he deserves, and just happy that he's happy. And Deku, he got the news quite early on. Like, he sort of expected this, but not really. And All Might, he's proud, bro. Like, he's basically that 10 out of 10 proud father right there. Like, he's beyond proud. Like, there's no words to describe his feeling besides proud. So yeah. But now we cut back to Deku, who's walking towards the classroom, and Aizawa, who's walking next to him. They're just talking about the forest training camp arc and what's gonna happen. And then again, Aizawa does not tell Deku about how the wild Pussycats are basically gonna screw them over, and you're gonna see what Deku does with this one. But still, now Deku walks into class. He walks over to his seat. He sits down. Everyone just congratulates him on becoming part of the Big Four and becoming the strongest in the school, even though he's only a first year. And so yeah, and Deku, he just says thank you, thank you. He gives Kendo a kiss on the cheek because and they sit basically right next to each other. And Kendo then Kendo not really caring, just goes over and sits on Deku's lap and just listens to Aizawa speak. Aizawa sees this in his head, he's thinking, yeah, that's my boy. Yeah, that's my boy, problem child. But like, back to what Aizawa was saying. Aizawa was explaining the training camp arc and how those who failed in their class, those who failed in canon, and those who passed in canon. So same with class 1B as well. Those who failed and those who passed all go to canon, except for Deku. And yeah, and basically it. That's basically only Deku's got changed. And Deku, he already knew about this, so like he was barely listening. So he was just talking to Kendo for a little bit. Kendo, she was trying to listen, so she bops Izuku on the head a little bit. And yeah, so Aizawa, he explains the entirety of the training camp arc on how they're gonna go to a training camp in the forest where they're gonna be training there for a week, and it's basically gonna be like summer camp. But before this, all gonna go. We're gonna go back. But before this, we're gonna go back. Yeah, sorry, not gonna go back. You guys are gonna have to get ready. You all have You all have your own dorms. You all know what to do. So go pack up your stuff and be ready for tomorrow, because that's when they're leaving. Now, we cut the class 1A in the dorms. Class 1A is thinking of going to the mall to get the stuff that they need. And Izuku and Kendo, yeah, they agree to it and they start heading towards the mall. Now we cut to now your boy Deku. He has a car, but he's not gonna like use it. He doesn't use it much because like All Might got him a car as a reward for, if I didn't say this, just because a plot, All Might got him a car as a reward for winning the sports festival. And I'm gonna just say this for plot's sake, it is a Rolls, as it is not a Rolls Royce. That would be too much. It is a Lambo, my guy. It's a Lambo. Like he got a Lambo for winning the sports festival because All Might's the number one hero. He has too much money not to spend it, so he decides to spend it on Zuku. Now Zuku, he's just like, okay. He asks Kendo, whispers in ear, "You wanna come with me on my car?" And then she's like, "Wait, you have a car?" Zuku's like, "Yeah, I do." And then he does the most slickest thing, bro. He goes and gets it. He pulls up in front of the school for it. Everyone's like, "Yo, who is that?" And then Zuku rolls down the window. He says, "Yo, Kendo, hop in." And Umaraka, she's looking at this like, what? Huh? When did he have money like that? And then Zuku's just like, bye guys, I'll meet y'all there. And he goes off in the Lambo with Kendo, and Kendo and Zuko just laughing because they saw the look on everybody's faces, especially Umaraka's when he pulled up with that, bro. Like, son, he's out here balling, like he's chilling, like he's living his life. Now let's cut to Class 1A. Just like, whoa, when did he have a car like that? And then all the girls all the girls look at Uraraka, and then they all say, "Was it really worth it?" Like they all say this at the same time, like everybody but Uraraka, like every girl but Uraraka. They're just like, "Was it truly?" And I mean truly worth it. And if you don't know what they mean, I'm talking about the cheating part. So like just to clarify, they're like, was it truly worth cheating on him? And then she says, honestly, no, no, it wasn't. And the boys over here, they're just snickering with each other because like they know Rocker feeling salty, like salty that motherfucker. But like Ida, he's even more salty because not even his family has money like that. Cause like, bro, why? Cause but then again, why would he need a car? His quirk is literally speed. He can just run everywhere. But like, still not as fast as Zuko though. Haha, and that goes for Canon too. Haha. Now we cut back to Deku. Deku, he pulls up, and you know what? Just for shits and giggles, they pull up and they're just waiting for they pull up near the bus stop. They're just waiting in front there, waiting for them, and just for shits and giggles, they just start making out in the car, bro. Like literally, as they move over to the driver's side, Deku's already has the car off, so like nothing's gonna move, and she just sits on his lap. They're sitting like facing each other. They just start making out right there. Now the windows are tinted, but like they're not tinted. Like the front and side mirrors are like tinted, but like Izuku had his like window down, so like yeah. And class 1A, it takes, let's say it takes them like 15 to 20 minutes to get there. Izuku got there in 5, so like he got there 15 minutes before them. And Class 1A, they walk over, they just look, they see the car, they walk over to the car, and then they see on the driver passenger side two people there, and then the boys start walking through that side, and then they just see Zuko and Kendo just straight up full on going at it, like not like doing Super Smash Bros, but straight up having the most intense makeup session I've ever seen. Like Jesus Christ, there should they they haven't breathed or taken a breath of oxygen this entire time. Like that type of thing right there. Now, your boy Deku, he knows how to kiss, bro. Like he gives the most passionate kisses, bro. They just doing that the entire time. And then like 5 minutes later, class one is just like, bro, we have to stop this. And then they just knock on the window a little bit. They just tap it a little bit. Deku realizes that they're there. He's like, oh shit, Kendo. And then she's like, oh, she's like, yeah. And then she looks out the both windows and they see the entire classes surrounding the car, and they're just like, yeah, I see. So like, yeah, they get out the car. They go back to being rated E for everyone. They straighten up their clothes because it looked ragged, very ragged. But like, now Uraka, she was jealous, like very jealous. Ida was pissed at Deku because he saw that Uraka was jealous of Deku. So like he's being a little prick about it. Like he was jealous before, but not as much as now. Cause like now, cause he thought that he was still more richer than Deku. Then Deku pulls up in a Lambo that he could almost never afford. So like yeah, that's kind of tough. Now they go inside. They all go inside together. They all start looking for the stuff they need. And in the place of Umaraka in the mall incident with Shigaraki in the encounter, I'm replacing her with Kendo. So Kendo and Izuku get left alone. Kendo tells Izuku that she has to go get something real fast, and replace every scene where Umaraka is in that entire encounter. Put Shigaraki, but not Shigaraki. Put Kendo in it. Now, yeah. Now we walk over back to Deku's POV. He is basically waiting, and then a guy who is in a hood. Now this guy is in a hood, and no, it is not Shigaraki because like I realized during this recording, like I almost forgot Shigaraki was captured in the first part. So no, there will not be a Shigaraki encounter, but it will be someone else who works for the League of Villains. And I'm gonna just say for shits and giggles, it's Dabi. Like this time it's Dabi. And Deku, he turns around, he sees Dabi. Dabi's about to light flames, but Deku doesn't let him. He uses air pressure from his fingers to cut off he uses air pressure from his fingers to take out the eventual waves of fire that was about to engulf everyone around him. He uses air pressure and oxygen to take the oxygen away from around Dabi's hand so he can't activate his quirk. Then Deku makes Earth Cuffs and hits Dabi square and makes like Earth Cuffs, and like these type of cuffs are like very dense, and he puts him on Dabi. But as soon as he does that, Kurogiri opens up a portal underneath Dabi and teleports him away. And everyone saw this, and like they see Deku fighting someone, they come over, and then Deku says, I don't know who that was, but he had a stitched face, a black hair, blue eyes, and he had a fire quirk. Similar, like something at least I think similar, maybe a bit weaker than Endeavor's, though the flames were blue, it only looked like he could make it from his hands. And everyone thinks, oh, okay, and like now they get what they need. Everything goes to canon from here, and now let's time skip to the next day. Now, Deku, he wakes up, he takes Kendo, he goes to Kendo's dorm, who's now in his dorm, who now is like next to his dorm for plot reasons, and he wakes up Kendo, and then they all start going towards the bus, and Monoma tries to do his BS, but he sees Deku. Deku, he does not play this game, bro. Like, he doesn't. Monoma tries to put his hand on Deku's shoulder to, like, use his quirk, but, you know, it's not a quirk. It's an ability. So, yeah, Monoma can't copy it. And he touches Deku's shoulder. He tries to use Deku's quirk to like bend something, but when he realizes he can't, he tries to use One for All. It doesn't work because One for All is a stockpiling power, and this is like okay, just because for plot's sake, Monoma in the manga he tried to copy One for All, but it didn't work. He got the baseline of the quirk, like basically what the first One for All user had, not what the current One for All user had. So yeah. Now, as we're going through this, basically, yeah, Monoma, Deku, he knew what Monoma was trying to do. And if you don't know what Monoma was trying to do, Monoma was trying to take Deku's quirk and try to, beat Deku so he could take his spot in Class 1A. But, since it's not a quirk, and even if he was able to copy it, it wouldn't be nowhere near as powerful as the way Deku can do it because, he's not the Avatar. And if he was, he would have to take Deku. He would only get Deku's base element because he can't wield all four elements. Because yeah, again, he's not the Avatar. So like, and because Deku's most proficient in air, yeah, his quote unquote birth element will be air. Yeah, I'll just make it so I'm gonna just say this. Inko, she doesn't have. I'm gonna say Inko doesn't have telepathy. Nah, bro, she can't pull small objects towards her. She just subconsciously surrounds it with air and brings it towards her. So, yeah, I'm gonna say that. And now let's get back into this. Now, Deku, he, not Deku, whatchamacallit? All right, now what Deku does to Monoma is disrespectful. Deku bends Earth in his hand and he starts molding it in his hand to the shape of a like a like a like a some type of very dense blindfold, and he straps that around Monoma's mouth and knocks him out and has Tetsu from Class 1B come and take him back to his bus. That's basically what happened. Now let's go into the journey. Now during this journey, Class 1A, they were all talking, yeah. Then all of a sudden, as they were almost there, about a mile out, the bus mysteriously stops. Now, the bus stopped because, yes, the Wow Wow Pussycats, they were there and they all got out the bus and they were told to go use the bathroom, do all that stuff, and then they went back to their area and then they were about to go back in the bus before the Wow Wow Pussycats was about to bend the earth was about well the one who can do arithmetic. I think that was what's her name? I forgot the Wow Wow Pussycat's name. I forgot her name. But essentially, the blonde one who can bend the earth and make the earth golems, she creates an earthquake. But Deku, he has that seismic sense, so he instinctively surrounds himself with air. Then he takes Kendo, and then he just starts hovering above them, and then he starts hovering on top of the bus. He starts hovering on top of it, and the Wow Wow Pussycats, they see this. They're just like, huh? And then everyone else, they just get knocked down there. Um, because for shits and giggles, he told the rest of Class 1A beforehand to expect something. So only a good half of them, the ones who listened to Deku, were the ones who like knew this would happen. Well, they didn't know what would happen. They know something was gonna happen, so they were able to somewhat prepare. So they didn't just get like fall on their ass. They were actually able to stick the landing. And the Wow Wow Pussycats are surprised with it. She's like, "Wow, that one has good reflexes." Aizawa, he looks at them and then he just says this. Um, yeah, he can come along with us if he wants. Him being down there would just not be fair. And then the Wow Wow Pussycats ask why. Oh, I just forgot the name. Doodle Bob and whatever. Bobcat, I think. One sec. And now, like for real though, now let's get back into this. Now Aizawa, he straight up says, yeah, having him down there would not be fair. And the Wow Wow Pussycats ask why, and then he straight up says, this quote unquote kid, like he defeated the top three heroes without any weights on, without any type of remorse. He defeated them. I don't think him being down there would be the right call. And then they're just like, what? No way he's that strong. And Um, all right. So the Wild Wild Pussycat named Ragdoll. Yeah, I had to like stop the recording for a quick second, only because I needed to like find out what their names were. So yeah, the Wild Wild Pussycat Ragdoll says, "No way, no way, this kid's that strong. Let me try and fight him." And Aizawa says, "Go right ahead. Though anything that happened to you is not liable to Yue, it's not liable legally to me and him or his father." And then they say, "Who's his father?" And then Aizawa bluntly says, "Yeah, it's All Might." And then they are also dumbfounded because they live in the forest. They don't have the news like that. Like they don't watch the news like that. They just train in the forest, do whatever they want, and yeah, that's all. And they help you away from time to time. So like yeah. Now they're like, he's the son of All Might, and Ragdoll is rethinking this, but then he decides to go through with it. So like, Deku, and so like he says that we're gonna. He walks up to Deku, who's still hovering over the bus with Kendo in his arms, and and then the Wow Wow Pussycat says, "Yo, what's your name, kid?" And then Deku just says, "Oh, it's a Zuku Yagi. Yeah, it's no longer Midoriya, because fuck Hizashi." Now it's Izuku Yagi, and he's like, "All right, young Yagi, like a fake ass All Might, but like still." And yeah, for plot's sake, him and Mr. All Might and Inko got married before this. I'll make a part 3.5 to explain how that went, so don't be too worried. But essentially, Ragdoll asked Deku if he could fight him. When they get to the camp, Deku says, "Oh yeah, sure. Just be warned, anything that happens to you is not liable to me," or and then he gets cut off by Ragdoll. He's like, "Yeah, I heard it, the same thing from Aizawa." And Kendo looks at Deku and says, "You better hold back." And Deku says, "But why? But why?" It's because, do you want to kill him? And then Ragdoll, he low-key feels disrespected, like by this, like very disrespected, like heavenly disrespected by this. He's just like, "Don't hold back, kid." Then Ragdoll just says, "Yeah, kid, don't hold back on me. I'm not one to take lightly." And then you say this, but remember, anything that happens after we do this is not liable in any way, shape, or form. I hope you understand. And Izuku, yeah, he's saying this, and Ragdoll's like, all right, I understand. And then Deku's just like, "All right, I'll meet you at the camp." And then he makes it, he summons air all around him, and then he pulls a Fire Lord Ozai and starts channeling fire at his feet, and then he just straight up blitzes towards the camp, and he just appears there to them. Like, to them, he just straight up disappeared and appeared there, but to him, he was just moving very, very fast. And if you're asking how this is possible, well, think of it like this: what happens when pure oxygen comes in contact with fire for the fraction of a split second? Well, yeah, it causes a reaction, and this reaction can create it's very flammable. It does a slight bit of combustion. So he straight up combusted himself, and this little burst, to them it was a little burst, but to him, he condensed it, and it shot him like a rocket towards the camp, and he stopped himself using the same method. So like, yeah, that's a little bit of a science experiment there. But just like, pure oxygen is very flammable, like very, very flammable. Just letting you know that now. And for those who don't understand, yeah, this is not science class, so if you want to know more, just look it up, please. But let's get back to this. Deku, he goes inside, him and Kendo. He's like, "You know what? I'm fitting to cook myself something to eat." He makes a Valiant Firebender Deluxe. He makes some fire flakes, makes an airbending traditional dinner. Like, Bro, when I tell you that thing looked scrumptious on Avatar, bro, their dinner and their food looked scrumptious, bro. Imagine how it looks in My Hero, bro. Like, nah, it looked divine. And he didn't just make it for him, bro. He made enough for the entire class. And because he really doesn't feel like being a little bit pissy about it, he makes a little bit for Ochako and Baku. Not Baku. I think it was Ida. Yeah, Ida. He makes a little bit for them. Like, he makes enough so everybody can eat, including Class 1B. Even though Monoma tried to attack him, he's not gonna blame the entirety of Class 1B for his dumbass actions. But like, still, now let's get back into this. Now, when the Wow Wow Pussycats get there, they see all this food already laid out, and they're just like, "How the hell did you do this by the time we got here? Also, what? How do you cook better than us?" And then Nick was just like, nothing, just a little experience. Yeah, the 10,000 years of experience that's literally sitting in his head. But like, still, he didn't say that out loud. He said that in his head, but like, still, it's kind of like ironic, right? Like, wouldn't 10,000 years of experience do this to someone? Now, Deku, he just sits down. He just says, "Kendall, you want to go eat?" She's like, "Yeah." They get down. They eat their share. The teachers, they eat their share as well. And when class 1A gets there, they see the food. They immediately start digging in. Like, who cooked this? They said Azuka. They said, "Thank you, bro." This was like a feast, my guy. Kota, he was there. And Kota, he felt a slight warmth towards Deku. And so he didn't punch him in the balls this time, but he's still cold to everybody. And Deku, he walks up to Kota while everyone else is eating. He asks Kota what's up. Kota, he feels a slight warmth in this tone and can tell he's telling the truth. So he starts talking to Kota, like those two are talking. Kota tells him about how the water hose heroes, how they both got killed by Muscular, and how he hates heroes because they left him. And Deku just explains this. He's like, well, in all honesty, I know where you're coming from, but you can't blame all heroes. They signed up for this. They wanted to become heroes so that they could protect people and make a living and help you and make a good example for you to show you that you can you can save people. You have the power to save people. You have both their quirks and you have the power to save people. And Deku says this with such generosity in his tone that Kota just listens in awe of how someone can be so nice to him. And even though like the Wow Wow Pussycats were always just nice to him, but he just didn't realize it. And Deku continues to say on how the water hose heroes, they may have died, but they didn't want to die. If anything, don't be mad at heroes, be mad at the person who did it. But don't but just be warned. You cannot blame all heroes for the actions of that villain. And Kota takes this to heart and he explains how he treated the Wild Wild Pussycats. Deku tells him, go and apologize to them and thank them for all they've done. And they they hear this generosity. The Wild Wild Pussycats, they see this, and then they're talking amongst themselves like, wow, Kota's talking to him. Like, what? Like, what? How? He's not being cold to him. He's not hitting him at all. And then Kota walks up to them and he apologizes. And yeah, but cause of plot, he's still gonna go to a secret spot because he wants to say goodbye to it. And he heads over to a secret spot. Deku, he already sensed where it was, so he knew where to go in case something happened. And yeah, the first day goes to normal. Yeah, second day, they train for the entirety of the day. Yet Deku, he thinks that their training's pretty damn idiotic. Like, why is Bakugo just making bigger explosions? Why isn't he doing some type of iron bone training? And like, doesn't his explosions hurt his hands? Like, why doesn't he just do iron bone training so that his hands can handle bigger explosions, so he can actually produce bigger explosions and handle them correctly? And he looks at Todoroki, he's like, okay, now that's just idiotic. and they're all taking this to heart because like they're realizing like this kid's literally being like he's analyzing them, and he's realizing how dumb they're realizing how dumb they are, because he's making a lot of sense. He's like, why is Todoroki practicing freezing and fire at the same time? Why isn't he like practicing his physical body so that he can fight with his quirks? And how about this? Why doesn't he, instead of making it bigger, how about he makes it more controlled and smaller? Like how his father can do fire lances. That requires a ton of control. Even though his father's a bastard, he still uses his quirk effectively. I don't understand how that was so hard to figure out. And then I'm looking at Uraraka's. Now that's just dumb. I don't even understand what I gotta do with that one. She may be a bitch, but that's just dumb. And they're asking why, and he's like, why are you putting her in a bubble, pushing her down a literal slope of a cliff like that's supposed to help with motion sickness or something? Like what? Like shouldn't you be trying to like find a pill or something that's supposed to like type like reduce nausea of some sorts, and then she can work on her fighting styles and work on fighting with her surroundings, with different surroundings? And then he looks at everyone's training, and he basically critiques on how dumb it was. And Aizawa, he realizes how smart Deku is, and he knows like what he's saying is 100% fact, because like I don't understand why they didn't do this in the anime, but like their training was absolute bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, it was BS and it was bogus. I don't even understand how you can call that training. Now, now they all call back in class 1A, and Deku basically explains their new training regimen and tells the Wawa Pussycats to go sit down somewhere, because like, bro, that's kind of stupid. Like, why would y'all do this? And they all know what they did was kind of dumb. Like, they were basically practicing only on the quirk aspect instead of the physical body, which is kind of dumb, even though their quirks are based off their bodies, but still. Now, the Wawa Pussycats, they basically sit back and they just let Izuku basically instruct the class. Aizawa sits with them. He basically says, yeah, he means no harm, but like, he was 100% right. Like, you can't even lie. And they all agree, like, yeah, he is. Now, we cut to when they're actually doing training. They all thank Izuku, and yeah, they realize not. Then he explains the flaws with their original training method that the Wawa Pussycats laid out for them, and then they all realized how dumb it was. Like, they could have all been like way more powerful in the series if they had just followed their certain training regimens. That would have made a lot more sense than BS quirk training that would have not done shit. But still, now we get into this now. Now we cut to like at nighttime when they're all in the showers. Mineta's not there, so there is no incident with a pervert or nothing. But Kota still does fall, because he was looking over the boys. The boys were having a conversation with him. Kota was talking to Deku, but then Kota stepped back a little too far, and he looks at the girls. He caught himself, but then he looks at the girls, and then he immediately just straight up falls over. Deku comes in clutch, picks him up with air, takes him to the Wild Wild Pussycats. They ask what happened. He explains, and yeah. After that, Kota goes to a secret spot, spending the last day there, and then is gonna go and stay with the Wild Wild Pussycats and be a real family with them. Now, your boy Deku, like, he is God, bro. Like, he right now, bro, I'm gonna say he's God. Like, alright, but for real though, he's not God. He can still die. He still takes damage. And no, I'm not making him borderline invincible. I'm just making him really powerful. Like, sure, rocks. Sure, You may seem like I'm making him overpowered. I'm slightly am, but then again, I am giving him limiters. He still doesn't have 100% of one for all down. His maximum right now is 60% to 80%, and anything past 60 will damage his body severely. If he goes to 80, he's basically spraining and pulling muscles left and right. Like, he's basically spraining and pulling muscles left and right whenever he uses that. So no, he's not. He's making up for it by adding, by basically he basically is like making up for it with his other quote unquote quirk, but it's really an ability. But enough of me rambling. Let's get back into the story. Now, Deku, he is what you would call very, very hyper vigilant. He's shown in the series that he is, and so when the villains start attacking, when the blue flames appear, Deku he immediately recognizes the blue flames of what happened with Dabi, and so he knows how to take them out. But then the Wawa Pussycats say that they can't find Kota, and Deku knows where Kota's spot is because seismic sense is really broken. And Deku, before you ask how do you learn seismic sense, Aang he can teach it. He just hasn't had an Earth people to teach it on. So yeah, he finds Kota about to get killed by Muscular. He immediately creates an air wall, and what's it called? Muscular punches it. It almost goes through, just in time for Deku to go over there and save Kota. Now, your boy, he your boy Kota, he's afraid. He's afraid. And Deku, he just makes an air barrier around him and just keeping it like that passively, like not like so he can still fight. And so it's like Kota, he's not gonna get launched off, so Deku won't have to go and get him again with his teeth or nothing. So Muscular's looking at Deku, he's like, oh, another one of these brats. He's like, oh, didn't Master say? Didn't Master's the Master's looking for you? It is. Sorry. Yeah, I'm fumbling on my words a bit. He says, "Oh, Master. Oh, my employer slash master would love to take your quirk, and he would also love for your little Katsuki Bakugo friend to join us." And yeah, in this canon, they're after both Deku and Bakugo, but I'm still gonna let Bakugo get taken because he may not be a complete dick in this what if, but still, he was a dick in canon. So I may have read the manga, he may have changed, he may have become mostly a likable character. I still don't care. He almost bullied a kid to suicide. I don't understand that. So yeah. And Deku, he hears this, he immediately gets pissed. But when Kota says that's him, that's the guy who killed my parents, and Deku gets even more mad. So before you even say anything, bro, he immediately goes into the Avatar state. And when I tell you Muscular was getting a beating, bro, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure Muscular, he landed one good hit on Deku, but it wasn't enough to hurt him because the wind barrier around him just straight up deflected most of the force. So he got at most a bruise and that's it. A pretty big bruise and maybe a sprained arm and that's about it. But other than that, Muscular, I'm sorry, but yeah, Deku he puts up an earth wall in front of Kota so Kota won't see what he's about to do to this man's. And when I tell you, he killed Muscular, bro. He didn't knock him out, bro. He killed him, flat out, killed him. He put fire and wind NATO in his hand. I'ma call this flaming tornado punch. No, sorry, nah, flaming Northchester smash, bro. And he hits Muscular with that, bro. And he does not care, bro. He used 60% and he obliterated Muscular. The only thing left is that eyepiece and his arm and a little bit of torn muscles everywhere, and that's it. Literally, that's it. And now as yeah, but still. Now Deku he keeps the wall up. He walks through it. He picks up Kota and flies back to camp. Kota on the way there, he asked Deku how he did that and how what's call it and how and what happened to Muscular. Deku just answers, he don't worry, I got revenge for you, and also he won't ever be hurting anybody ever again. Kota, he's happy with this. He starts crying, starts hugging Deku, saying, "Thank you," and he says, "You're my hero." This and that. And for plot's sake, Deku, no, sorry, for plot's sake, Kota's quirk, yeah, nah, he's a waterbender, bro. Out of here, bro. I'm done. Nah, he has a quirk, but Deku's gonna teach him how to waterbend, cause like basically his quirk was just a minor transformation from waterbending. So basically, he's gonna be able to waterbend like an entire like a Tara, my guy. So he's gonna be going. So Deku's gonna be going back there to teach Kota the basics of waterbending after this. But let's get back into it now. When Deku gets back, he gives Deku to one of the Wow Wow Pussycats, I think Bobcat, what's her name is, and he goes off to battle to find Kachan. He tells the girl with telepathy, I forgot what her name was. Her name was Mandalay. Yeah, Mandalay, Pixie Bob, Ragdoll, and Tiger. And okay, so yeah. Also, Deku hasn't had that fight with Tiger yet, and if I said it was Ragdoll, I was completely wrong. That was the wrong Wow Wow Pussycat. So yeah, and in this one, Ragdoll does not get taken along with Bakugo, so no. But as for a little disclaimer, not disclaimer, as for a little thing, Deku, he tells Mandalay and he gives Mandalay Kota, and he also tells Mandalay that that I encountered Muscular. She asks what happened. Deku just says, "Well, let's just say he won't be bothering anybody for that, for the matter ever again." And she's slightly scared by the way he said that, and she's also relieved because like she basically she killed her cousin. Like, why wouldn't she be mad? Like, why wouldn't she be relieved or like at least a little bit mad at him? But like, still, let's get into this now. They say who they're after, and then they're like, what? And because Deku's like really fast in this, he's using 60% full cowling, and anything over this would like bro, like, he would get damaged. Like, jeez, like anything over that, he's gonna get damaged a lot. Like, think about 20% one for all on steroids, like that much more damage. Like, it would be cracking his bones the more he uses it. Well, until he gains more muscle mass, but like still. So Deku, he's blitzing around. He gets to Toga and he gets to where Uraraka and Suyu is. But not only is she there, but Kendo's there as well. So Kendo, she's about to get stabbed in like the chest by Toga. Deku, he just appears in front of Toga, has a fire tornado in his hand, 60% one for all, just straight up pimp smacks her, bro. Like, he straight up pimp smacks her. Doesn't not it she's basically on her deathbed. If Deku wanted to, he could have made it so that she's on her deathbed. And but if I said 60%, I mean 10% because he's not trying to kill the girl. But then again, he low key should, but maybe. But she gets like instantly knocked out. Like, bro, on impact she got knocked out. Like, there's nothing. Like, she's not waking up anytime soon. Like, bro, I'd give it a week. Like, I'd give it that Ida timing. Like, that's when he'll wake up. Also, Deku used the Avatar state, so his body is a bit fatigued from that, but not a lot. But you're gonna see how that fatigueness comes in play soon. Now, Deku's blitzing around. He gets Ragdoll. He brings it over to Mandalay, and he starts blitzing around, starts bringing students back to the camp. He comes up to where that mist girl was. He and where Tetu and them are. He bends the air around the mist and he makes a tornado in the sky, like a wind funnel, funneling it upwards so that it's not around the forest, and he's able to see her. And also using seismic sense to find exactly where everyone is. He blitzes Tetu and the rest of the Class 1B members out of that, and he appears in front of the mist girl, I forgot what her name was, and he instantly knocked her clean out. And Mr. Compress, I'm gonna say for plot reasons, he already got Tokoyami and Bakugo in orbs, and Deku he sees Mr. Compress, but it's a fake one. Deku immediately blitzes towards it and knocks that one out. He grabs the marbles. It's just stone inside of them. And then he sees the real one, and the real one's almost near the portal. And he gets Tokoyami's. Tokoyami gets out of it, and Dabi he like right when Deku's about to grab Bakugo's Dabi, he grabs it. Deku's like no, and Dabi he tells Mr. Compress to undo it so that he can make sure, and he straight up undoes it. Deku he gets really mad, and he starts running towards him like at blinding speeds, but because Deku is already fatigued from training, he's fatigued from training, he's fatigued from using the avatar state, and from already blitzing around everywhere. He wasn't fast enough, and so second the portal closes, he straight up passes out, like he's out cold. And whoever gets captured in canon gets captured in canon, except for Ragdoll, and yeah. So Deku, he wakes up. Let's just say it's the day that they're gonna go and let's say it's like a day before they're gonna go and rescue Bakugo. Deku wakes up. He sees Kendo sleeping on his lap, basically, just like with her arms crossed and stuff. And like yeah, basically that average girlfriend boyfriend hospital bed scene. So like yeah, and everyone else they walk in. All Might he walks in and Deku explains what happened and why he passed out, and then he's just like, if only I was at full power, I could have gotten him. And then they're just like, all right, but we're gonna go raid them. I think let's just say for plot sake, Momo already gave him, and she already has a copy of the tracker ready to get Bakugo out of there. But they really don't need it because Ida and them they're not going this time. It's just gonna be Deku. Now I'm gonna get into the All For One fight now. Like I'm getting into that arc right now. Now, since All Might's pretty much damn near in his prime, and All For One, he is gonna have more quirks this time. Cause I'm not making it so that Deku one shots All For One. Like what? That would be dumb. So like yeah, he's gonna have more than 10 quirks in that one fist. Let's say I'm gonna average it out, 100 quirks in that fist, boy. Like nah, bro, we're making your boy All For One broken. Now, Deku, he understands what's gonna happen, but All Might he knows his son, so like he's like we're giving you a provisional license so you can come with us to the raid, because I know that because I'm pretty sure you're just gonna go out of your way and try to get him back by yourself. Deku smiles. He's like, yeah, you know me so well, Dad. And then Aizawa he knows this too, and he's just like, yeah, let's go. And now Kendo, she woke up, she gave Deku a hug, they had their lovey time for that day, but now it's the day of the raid. Now, All Might does his, no, sorry, All Might does his usual thing in canon, says, yo, pizza delivery, knocks on the door, and busts through the wall. Bakugo's still in his chains, they take him out, and Bakugo, he's basically like slightly a little bit paralyzed, so like he can't move, like they basically did to him what he did to him in canon. Deku, he sees this. He seizes the opportunity. He bends air around Bakugo and takes him and basically takes him towards Best Jeanist, and he enters the battle with All Might. And Deku and All Might, bro, they're basically pulling a Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki. Like that's the type of battle that's happening here. And because all the bending arts revolve around the fighting style, Deku has mastered those fighting styles with One For All. So he's way more lethal than All Might is right now. And and All For One, like just think of him as like Momoshiki or something, except like way more nerfed, but like still. And this fight scene, bro, like imagine this fight scene. I'm gonna just describe it. So Deku and All Might, they basically are running behind each other. Deku running behind All Might. All Might throws a punch. Deku immediately jumps over All Might, throws a kick, and All for one, he, let's just say for shits and giggles, he knows a fighting style, but it's nowhere near as good as Deku's. Let's say he knows judo, and so yeah, that's my own fighting style too. So yeah, judo, martial art. That's a martial art I learned as a kid, like stuff. Now he knows judo, so he starts making the quirked fist. It's like not as big as the one in canon, but it's like way, because it's like way more condensed, but still a lot more powerful. So they're basically fighting like that right now, and they're all seeing this. Like, and Endeavor, he's not there because like he like, why? Like, for plot, he's not there. Like, for plot reasons, he's not gonna be there. Like, why would I want him there? Now we get your boy Deku and him. Like, go back to All Might and Deku. All Might and Deku, they're basically doing combos left and right. Like, imagine the ultimate finisher in, imagine ultimate finishers in Storm 4, and you're just going at it with somebody. Like, that's basically what's happening here. Deku, he bends the wind around him and All Might so that they can move much faster, so less wind resistance. And Deku, he's blitzing around All for One. Like, he's to them, to everyone else, it looks like Deku's teleporting at this point. Like, that's how fast he's moving. All for One's thinking, oh, I'm gonna enjoy when I take that boy's quirk. Little does he know he can't take it. Like, little does he know. And Deku, he's blitzing around All for One. He kicks All for One in the back, sending him upwards. All Might jumps up, smashes All for One into the ground. Deku kicks All for One to the left. All Might intercepts, kicks him up. Deku does it, and they're basically kicking him in a tralelogram. Basically, think of it as a 3D diamond. That's basically how they're kicking him right now. And they're doing this so fast that it's actually making the diamond shape. But All for One, he has way more quirks this time. So like, your boy, he is way more durable. So like, this did roughly 25% damage to him. And they're basically like, All Might and Deku, they get a teensy bit tired, but not much. And they go at it again. And this time, Deku's the one rushing this time. He punches All for One with a flaming Northchester smash, bro. This did like 5% damage, and it it did damage. Like, it pushed All for One far back, and All Might jumps over, smashes him upwards even higher. Deku, he does this even higher, and they just continue this cycle until like they're damn near the upper exosphere. Then they both together yell, "United States of Smash!" And this almost knocks All for One out, but it's like just enough to like keep him, like, he's barely awake. And just when All Might was about to land a finishing blow, All for One uses whatchamacallit, air air I forgot, it was air bullet. What was it called? Uh, it was called uh what was it called again? Uh uh oh yeah. He shot those red tendrils at All Might. One of them hits All Might around his injury. It didn't do nowhere near as much as it would have in canon. And it straight up, like, All Might, he's already down. Like, he's down a bit, but it doesn't do the amount of damage that it did in the canon. It just straight up, it just knocked the wind out of All Might for like a little bit, and it does it does pierce him a bit. So he does have a little bit of a hole in his stomach, like in the side, but it didn't hit any it didn't hit any vital organs. So he'll be able to live and continue doing hero work after this. But he's still gonna be slightly limited. Like, he won't be like at his tip top shape. I'd say he'd be around 75% of his prime after this. So Deku, he sees this, he gets mad, he goes into the avatar state, and for shits and giggles, he was using the avatar state for the last like 2 minutes, and for the last 3 minutes, he makes the massive, basically he makes the massive Fire Lord Ozai battle ready Aang. Like, that's what he looks like. and he makes all 4 elements go around him, except the fire's blue, and the water looks crystal clear, and the air looks dense as hell, and the earth looks dense as hell. And he pulls up to offer one, like, yeah, it's time. Shigaraki sees this. He's seeing this on the news because, like, All For One teleported his lackeys away, but Shigaraki's in prison, so like he's seeing this on the news, and he's about to see his quote unquote father, his adopted father, and just die. So he gets mad. It ain't gonna do nothing. But Deku, he makes a fist with all 4 elements colliding in it, and this is gonna be all 4 elements United States of United States, Japan, Universal World, Earth Smash. And this doesn't kill All For One, but yo, he's on his deathbed, like, Jesus. The One For All, and he did this with 80% of One For All with his arm. And he subconsciously went to 100 and it broke his arm. So yeah. And he straight up, like, All For One's done. Like, yo, like, you expect him to wake up from that? Like what? Like, bro, like, no. He's going to prison, all right, yeah, but like, bro, he's gonna be in a comatose state for a month or two. Like, jeez, there's no amount of durability course on the planet that could prevent you from not getting knocked unconscious from that. Like, what? Huh? Like, you actually expected me to say, oh yeah, he's gonna wake up immediately after Kill All Might? Nah, bruh. Nah, he's gone, bro. Like, what? Like, he would have to get saved by the biggest amount of plot, like Shigaraki did in the manga, but still. But like Deku, he's like exhausted. Like, he used up all the timer of the Avatar state, so he's gonna be knocked unconscious for a while. All Might, he picks up his son, he runs over to the other heroes. They see this. They see All For One being taken away, but All Might's not really caring about that. He's just caring that his son and himself are like alive after this, because like Inko would kill them if he was. If they weren't, like, damn. Like, if even one of them died, like, the other one's going to die next. Like, damn. And so he basically takes his son over to the medical team, and they sedate his arm. Like, his arm, his arm is his singular arm this time is basically as damaged as it would be if he had broken it during the UA Sports Festival, basically. So basically, yeah, Deku gets the scar that he would have gotten in the canon if he would have, like, broken his arm multiple times in the fucking UA Sports Festival. But because his stamina was so severely depleted from using the Avatar state and One For All at 100%, and using the most powerful attack in his arsenal, which basically could have one-tapped him, like, Jesus, like, bro, like, sure, he couldn't have one-tapped All For One, but he would have, like, basically knocked him out if he had used that off rip. But he was trying to hold off on using it because, like, he basically could die if he does. Like, Zuko right now, he's on his deathbed because he used that. Like, he's knocking on Death's door, but Death's not allowing it. So, like, Death's not allowing him inside, saying, like, bro, your token's invalid, bro. You're too much of a hero. Go back down there, bro. You've been saved by the power of plot. Now get out of here, main protagonist. Like, bro, I feel like the Reaper, I feel like Death himself would get very mad at protagonist, bro. Like, every time a protagonist dies, they somehow seem to come back off bull. Like, Naruto dies, Sage 6 Pabs. Here you go. Here's a half of my chakra. Now go end this cycle of hatred. Huh. Like, bruh. Like, I feel like Death would just be like, yeah, bro. Nah. Like, every time he sees an anime protagonist, he's like, yo, fuck out of here, bro. You're just gonna come back in, like, the next episode, okay? unless you're like Akame got, yeah, unless you're like Akame got killed, but like still, your boy Deku, he's like in critical condition. All Might, he's in slightly less critical condition, but still critical condition. He has a hole in his stomach. What makes you think he wouldn't be? Sure, it missed all vital spots and he'll be able to do hero work again, but he's not going to be at like quote unquote 100%, really 80, but now it's 75. So like yeah, All Might will be a little bit weaker, 5% weaker, but he'll live. He'll be able to do hero work still. And Deku, he's a bit he's like talking to the previous avatars right now, and with the One for All users, they're all congratulating him. Like they're all, yo, the One for All users are mad hype, bro, because like they basically just saw All for One get his ass kicked by a 15-year-old and his dad having father son bonding time. Like, jeez, the disrespects. And literally, like, bruh, like they're just chilling, and then Deku asks the question like, "Why am I here exactly?" And then he asks, "Why is he here exactly?" Like after they're all done congratulating, he's like, "Well, your body got severely damaged. More than likely, your arm and a bit of your like not a bit, sorry, your entire stamina." Was depleted. Like you basically have almost no stamina and no energy left. If it wasn't for like you, if it wasn't for like, you know, us being here, you'd probably be dead by now. But because we don't want you to be mentally hurt from all the pain you would be in, we disconnected your conscious mind from your subconscious mind so you wouldn't feel any of the effects of what they're doing. And like the One for All users and like Aang, he says this, and so does Roku and the rest of them. Like they all say this. Deku, he's happy, so they just chill in his mindscape. Deku's just like, you know what? Let's change this up a bit. He basically edits his mindscape. Like because it's his mindscape, he can do whatever the hell he wants with it. So he straight up edits it, makes it a lot more comfortable for the One for All users and the previous avatars because they're basically all living there now. Man makes an entire like he basically makes a massive, like he makes it way more massive so that they all have room, makes it like a lot more open so that, and allows them to edit, like gives them pockets of it for them to edit whenever they want, and basically like gives them their own little paradise up there. Say with One for All, like technically it's two different islands, but Deku, he made a massive bridge to connect the two so they can all talk to each other and basically chill with each other. And then Sun, because they just want, if they want to see his memories, they can just like watch it on the big screen. And he just makes a massive TV for them to watch it, like a massive cinema, like with 10,000 rows of seats. Sorry, 10,005 rows of seats. Because we don't actually know how many avatars there have been. So I'm just, because it's been 10,000 years, so I'd say maybe 10,000. No, not joking. But like, he makes 10,000 seats so that they each have their own space. And yeah, back to the real world. All Might, he's in critical condition. Deku, also in critical condition. Inko, crying, with Aizawa comforting her, and Kendo comforting her as well. And Kendo's also crying with Inko as well while trying to comfort each other, basically. And all they want to see is their mans be well again. But don't worry, by the power vested in me as the both narrator, creator, and, well, not the creator of the franchise, but the creator of this What If, I hereby say Zuko Midoriya and fuck Midoriya, Inko, Yagi, Kendo, whatever her last name is, I forgot, because like this was like very rushed, and I'm sorry if it's bad because of that, but by the power vested in me, they will not die. Now, a week passes. All Might and Deku, they're basically in a stimulated coma where basically they're in a coma, but they can be taken out of it at any time by the doctors because like they need to heal. And knowing them, they would probably try to get up almost instantly. So after Deku, he's been asleep for 2 days, his energy replenishes. So Recovery Girl can come in and heal him. He wakes up, does the same with All Might, who is also severely depleted in energy, which is why he could not get like completely recovered off jump. So after that, he gets healed. The wound that was left there is basically now a scar and a bruise on top of that. So yeah, Deku's arm has the scar and cannon, and yeah, he needs to get more muscle mass to get control of One for All at 100%, because like Sun can control it up to 80 without completely shattering his bones, but it will still crack his bones, so like he will still technically get small little fractures here and there, but it will actually break the bone. So win-win. Now your boy Deku, he wakes up, he sees Kendo immediately jumps at him, gives him a hug. Yeah, same thing that happened basically like in the beginning of this, like after he woke up after the training incident. Okay, so Kendo, she walks up to him, kisses him, like not walks up to him, like they were already hugging, so like yeah, she just starts kissing him. Those two just start full on making out. Ink, like they're in the same room with Deku, with like not Deku, sorry, Inko, Yagi, and Toshi. Toshi's already woken up. Inko's already sees him. Basically, those two just making out as well, and All Might, like All Might opens his eyes. Deku opens his eyes. Those two make eye contact while they're making out with their girls. Deku just gives him a thumbs up. All Might gives him a thumbs up. They close the curtains, my guy. They don't go Super Smash Bros. Yet, but you know, yeah. Now, when they get out, they go back to the dorms. Everything was recorded, by the way, so everyone saw Deku and his father basically tag teaming the number one villain, and Deku basically almost killing him. And the villains, oh nah, they're afraid of this man. But like the crime rate is still not, it's not as low as in the canon. So I'd say it's at 15%. Nah, because I really want Deku to have to fight some villains, 30%. Like Japan's crime rate's at 30%, so yeah. Now, the villains, they're afraid, so it dropped for like the week, but it's gonna go back up to 30 sooner or later. No. Deku gets back to the dorms. Everyone comes up to him. Deku, who still has a slight bit of a sling on his arm. Not like a sling, but like basically it's bandaged, like how Naruto's arm is bandaged. And Deku, he's walking in with that. Oh my, he's walking in with a bandage around his waist, but he still got his shirt on. Those two just walk in, and every Kendo's behind them too. Everyone just like congratulates Deku. Uraka extra jealous. Ida, he's a little bit pissed, cause like he got to he's a little bit pissed that Uraka's still jealous, so he wants to do something so badly, but he can't, cause he knows that he'll get that crippled special like his brother did in the canon, but like it didn't happen in this what if. So like yeah, aha, he's about to get that crippled special, but like yeah. Now Deku, he's like, yeah, guys, thank you. I'll answer all your questions later. And he says, well, guys, I'm really tired because Recovery Girl just finished healing me and my dad, so we both gonna head out. He's like, yo, see you later, dad. Oma says like, yo, see you later, my son. And see you later, Zuku. Man, they both just go to their rooms. When, yeah, in reality, Kendo's like, I'll accompany him. Deku, he looks at All Might, gives All Might a thumbs up, like while the class has their back turned. All Might, he looks at Izuku, he's like, yeah, that's my boy, that's my boy. He's thinking that right now. He's like, yeah, he has a massive grin on his face. But like, yeah, so they get inside the room. Those two start making out. They have a whole entire session, my guy. Like, damn, bro, it's worse than what they had in the car before they were in the mall. Like, damn, bro, like these two were going at it. Like, yeah, like they like let's just say I don't feel like going in detail. Maybe I will in my future what ifs, but for plot's sake, Deku and her, they play Super Smash Bros. But like, bruh, like, of course my boy Deku got that god like pullout game. Like, this is not no normal pullout game, bro. Like, he has the power of the narrator and the what if tuber saying, yeah, nah, no child today. So yeah, they play Super Smash Bros. For like, I'm gonna say my boy Deku, he has a massive amount of stamina. Like, if you think in canon, he still does have massive reserves of stamina. So I'd say my boy lasted. I'm a over exaggerate 9 hours. Yup. Now you can see how much stamina the Avatar state uses. But like, essentially, your boy will go in for 9 hours. All Might. Now let's cut back a little bit. All Might, he gets to his house where Inko's waiting for him. Like, Inko was not waiting for him with him. Bro, let's just say they start doing some stuff in their car, and this later led to them going to the house. Your boy, Inko and All Might, yeah, they do it as well. Except they don't have that plot armor like I gave Deku. So yeah, All Might, he like, he did the deed. Except, he didn't pull out. So like, yeah. And a week passes, like 2 weeks pass after that, nothing really happens. And then All Might, he gets the lucky news. Inko is pregnant. And yeah, now that's where we're gonna leave it off, guys. Thank you again for all the support on my videos. I honestly did not expect to be growing this fast. Another what if will be out pretty much after this, if it does go the way I plan. And yeah, this is What If Deku Was Cheated On Part 3, and the next one will be out basically somewhere around this week whenever I get the chance. This one's coming out a bit late because of some like issues with Famora being a little bit of a bastard a bit. So yeah, and thank you.